Fannie Mae looking real bad. Looking real bad. And you know what else this makes? It makes black people look bad if we are under the psychic trauma type of thinking. Because you got the bald head black man, lawyer, successful guy, playboy, and you got the black woman who has worked her way up through the ranks of this legal lawyering lifestyle community. And she gets so emboldened that she says, okay, I'm going to prosecute Donald Trump. And she's going to prosecute Young Thug. And she's acting like she wants to clean up the streets and do this, that, and the third. But she's sleeping with somebody she hired. And even if she didn't do anything wrong, it looks so bad. You know, a lot of people said when Diddy was sleeping with Cassidy that she was just too young. She was legal, but he was like 40 and she was 18. And it just didn't look right. It didn't sit right. Legal, but didn't look right. Unethical. And she should have had the discretion to know taking trips with somebody she just hired to prosecute Donald Trump was dumb. She needs to remove herself from these cases. She needs to be fired and dismissed. Young Thug. Now, I've heard crime went down 22% in Atlanta since Young Thug has been off the streets. And that a lot of the shooting and killing and stuff that was going on in the Lenox Mall in Atlanta was all happening from YSL. And people want to live in peace, man. People don't want to have to go through going to the mall. You think you might get shot as an innocent bystander of somebody just in the mall being thugged out. But you got this prosecutor now who there's rumors saying that she slept with somebody that Young Thug's gang killed. And so now we got, like, she shouldn't even be prosecuting that case because she's hell bent on trying to bring them down for something that don't have anything to do with Rico. It's like a personal vendetta. And she's sleeping with the man that she hired. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And, you know, I'm not someone that thinks Donald Trump should be going to jail or be getting arrested or any of this other stuff. But for the people that do feel like that, and you were the person who gave them their best chance for Donald Trump to face these charges, and for you to start sleeping with somebody who you hired to help on this case, knowing that it's flirting with misconduct, even if it's not, is wild. And the excuse that you paid cash is a plausible defense, right? It is plausible, but it seems so weird. It seems so ridiculous. And they asked the bro that she's sleeping with about him booking a cabin. And he said, I book cabins all the time. He couldn't remember if he booked a cabin. Y'all just look like y'all up there lying, man. You look like you lying. You look like you dancing around every answer. You look like you look exactly like the people that you prosecute all the time when you catch them in a lie. You're a terrible, terrible witness for yourself. And the arrogance for you to just get on the stand when you had Absolutely no reason to. And you thought you were going to get on the stand and set the record straight. But it was to your own undoing. You should stop talking, excuse yourself from all the cases that you're working on, bite those bullets, and be done with it. Because it sounds so crazy that you won't even say the cash came from your job. You get paid. Some of the money is yours. But apparently you can't even say that because it's misconduct. And the man that you're misconducting with, when you he can't say he spent any of the money on you because it would almost be like you were paying yourself in a roundabout way. So now both of you guys are caught up saying this ridiculous stuff. It sounds like some real ghetto, fabulous foolishness from who are supposed to be professionals. Professionals. Why would you get on the stand in a nationally publicized case like this and make a fool of yourself? I've never seen a clown show like this before. And you're prosecuting people like Donald Trump and Young Thug, and you just as bad. It's hypocrisy. This is textbook caught red-handed defiance and just trying to divert the attention away from what you did to like meaningless, silly little things. They can't really prove you're lying because the cash, but it just sounds far-fetched. And I think a judge should have discretion to say, this sounds ridiculous. Even though I can't prove it to be a lie, I think it's a lie. And as the judge, I believe you lied. Excuse yourself from the case. All the cases that you're prosecuting. And another DA shouldn't pick them up. You know, this was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm sitting watching every minute of it, just cringing the whole time. Because in America, there's this psychic trauma that the worst of black people represent the masses. It's like when the news puts the homeless black man on there to be a witness about a story, and he just says all the stuff that makes us cringe and embarrasses us all. You know, like the lady that said, ain't nobody got time for that. As a prime example of how the worst representation of black people seems to be the representation of the masses. And that's what Fannie Mae is doing right here. We get a black DA, a woman, and she can't keep her panties on. She's sleeping with somebody she hired and taking trips all over the world. Month after month after month, and claiming she paid cash for it. And she's been collecting cash from when she goes to the grocery store and she gets a 50 back, and she just, how do you get change back when you use a debit card to pay for something? Or not unless you're just using your debit card sparingly, and then you go to the store with a 50 and they give you $20 in cash. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I do use cash too, but I'm a retail store and we have cash customers. But I also use my debit card, and I also use a credit card. And when you're going out of town, you're going to take a limited amount of cash. You're not traveling out of the country. And on airplanes, with wads and wads of cash. It's a red flag. It don't look right. And it seems like drug dealerish type of behavior. Like, let young Thug keep saying he deals with all of this cash, and let him say that, he keeps a lot of cash. It would be heavily associated with him and drugs. And she was a defense attorney at one time. So the very same thing that she's prosecuting now, she was keeping on the streets before. It's hypocrisy. And she was accepting drug money in cash, and now she's using it to fly all over the country while she prosecutes the very people who was giving her the cash in the first place. And when you get in these courts, man, these lawyers, they grill so hard, man. You think you about to get up there and explain yourself to one of these lawyers, and man, they dismantle your character with all kinds of questions that you would never anticipate. And it's not even that you're lying, but even when you tell the truth to a salacious question, it seems like you're lying, because they almost like frame the question as to why you did this terrible thing, and then you have to say that you didn't do it. But when you defend yourself against a lie, there is a bit of taint that's there. So even if she's telling the truth, her behavior was so reckless, she looks like she's lying. 100% believe she's lying about some of it. And they know good and well that they didn't figure out exactly what was paid for and then replace that exact amount in cash. According to their own testimony, it was just roundabout. He never said, you owe me this, and she paid for that, but it almost evened out, because she said, all right, bet, I'm going to pay for the excursions when we out of town. But this is trash. It's trash. You have no business prosecuting anybody until you are living a good life yourself. Excuse yourself and stop embarrassing black people. He asked, was it a G? I gave him a G. Okay. When I hear stuff like that, it makes me think like, I guess you can be yourself and still be the DA, but it seems like you should have a level of maturity that would stop you from just conducting yourself like the drug dealers that you are prosecuting. You are a defender of drug dealers. You're a defender of criminals. And now you're exhibiting the same behavior patterns that you were defending before. You've seen how they moved and act, and now you're acting and looking just like them when you're being grilled. It's no fun when the rabbit got the gun. So remove yourself from the case. Stop embarrassing our community. Stop embarrassing your people, and give it up. You have absolutely no business, cachet, or moral standard to prosecute even somebody as ratchet as Donald Trump, because you're one and the same. He would probably get on the stand and look just like you if he was to have to, explain himself about some of the things that's questionable that he did. You have no right to prosecute him, nor does he have the right to prosecute you, because you guys are both full of misconduct. All right, y'all, tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you think that she is an embarrassment to black people, an embarrassment to the DA's office? Do you think she should remove herself? And if she does remove herself, should all charges be dismissed against everyone that she has been prosecuting?